Sorry. So I read an article on Essence or Ebony. Sorry. It was about how mothers and daughters need to get back together. I feel this is true. A lot of the women I know that are mothers, well, particularly like women that could be the old enough to be my mother, are out there just trying to live their own lives. Like grandmas was the shit. And now that the grandmas are starting to, God forbid, I'm talking about the grandmas, like the 70, 80-year grandma, big mom. They used to take care of all the kids while the mothers out there being ratchet are now passing away or getting too old to help or getting too old to do things or say things. And it's getting to the point where nowadays a girl could be my age, have two kids, her mother's a grandma already, she's like in her late 30s, and her mother's like 50, and everyone just out for themselves. We need to reconnect. It's too many different kinds of mothers. So the article said that we have the authoritative mother. So this is the mother who's trying to emotionally she makes you very fragile emotionally. I grew up with a mother like this. She thinks that if she tells you like if she beat you like a slave, treat you like a slave, you'll fall into line and learn right away. That usually doesn't happen. They try to take a forceful approach with their daughters, and it can prompt them to be distant. I was raised by my aunt, and I look at her as a mother figure, and she was the authoritative mother, and her method did not work. It made me very distant from her, very secretive, made me a good ass liar, a good ass sneak. It made me want to not share anything with her. It just made me very, very distant from her. And the most difficult thing for her was to relinquish control, even as I grew up. So I'm 25, and she's still trying to like smack me across the head, smack me across the back. And that did not work for me because it just made me more resentful of her. But at some point, I was thinking as I got older, she had to allow me to carve my own place out in the world, but she was not having that. So we still have this problem to this day, and that's the reason we do not talk. And it sucks that a black woman who raised me, who was very strong, tried to raise me to be weak. And I think that happens for a lot of black and brown girls. Our mothers feel like they have to be strong, and they raise us to be weak by trying to over-authoritize us, trying to push us. They make us weaker to like outside forces. The another thing is the absent mother they talked about. So my mother was on drugs after she had me a couple of years. She had me at like 18, and she was on drugs for a few years. She has been off drugs since I was like 14, so it's been a long, long time. But like she never attended any of my school activities, even after she got off. Like she didn't really start getting into my life till I was like in college, like because now I'm an adult. And to this day, I still don't call her mom. I call her by her name. I don't know why, it just feels weird. Like I said, my aunt was my mother to me, but my mother was I still had a mother, you know what I mean? And my grandma was my mother. So that's the person who took care of me that I would share things with, but she passed away when I was young. So she never really was there for any of my events. I played sports. She never was really there. I know a lot of girls who mothers was on drugs and they still raised them. And it wasn't the best situation, so I could understand why she didn't raise me. But at the same time, they still had their mom. You know what I mean? So they said that this absence will result in the personal battles that you're fighting and your emotional warfare preventing you from being able to mother your children. I don't find this true. I do find that I'm more attached to my child in a weird way. Like I don't want her to do anything by herself, but I'm trying to let her. I have more knowledge than I think my mother and my mother's mother had. So I'm trying to be a better mother and start a new cycle for my child, if you get what I'm saying. So my mother did try to make her amends. She's very honest about what happened to her. She's very honest about her feelings. So it is better now that I'm like in my 20s. But when I was younger, I would often wonder why my mother wasn't around, and I would call my aunt my mom because it made me feel better. You know what I mean? So she does say sorry a lot too, but my brothers are more accepting to that than me because I feel like we can't rationalize or explain, but what we can do is move forward. So I don't want to hear about the sorries. Let's just see how you are going forward. And she is doing a really good job, and she is a very, very, very good grandmother. So the abusive mother was another one. So the abusive mother uses verbal and physical abuse to reprimand a child, and a practice that we have passed down to generations despite clear proof that this is more burdensome than productive. So additionally, these behaviors contribute to breakdowns in trust between mother and daughter. My aunt was an abusive mother. And like I said, it made me distant from her. I didn't become violent. I'm very opposite of that because I don't want to be with what I saw. She is a very good woman to the world, but she's not a very good woman to like the people who live with her. Like she's From the outside, she's the best. Just like I like to say, Jekyll Hyde. Outside, she's Doctor. She's like she's the best, and then she's in the house. She's like a fucking monster. But she do have her good moments. It's just they don't really last that long. I don't know. I do trust her, but with certain things. I trust her. I do trust her with certain things. And they're saying a lot of those three types of mothers make angry daughters. I am not an angry daughter. Did I used to be? I don't know. I really can't speak of myself because when it's you don't really see it. I don't think I am an angry daughter, but I know I have a lot of friends and a lot of cousins, even the males, who mothers didn't raise them due to like drugs, death, and they're like really resentful. My friend mother died, and he is like super into women. He's like, he loves to have lots of them. He likes to hit on them and beat on them. So I don't know. I was raised not the best, but I'm not an angry person. But like I said, I have more knowledge than the people before me. So hopefully I don't. I noticed that a lot of girls say their mother was good when they were young, and then they got older, she changed. Hopefully I don't do that. I'm trying to make myself aware of this, so I won't do that. You guys tell me what you think about that. Refrain from communication. So one of the largest barriers between mothers and daughters is broken communication. The inability to communicate can lead to screaming, offensive remarks, shutting down, blaming/shaming one another. Learning how to speak to one another constructively is fundamental for reframing mother-daughter relationships. My aunt does not know how to speak to people. She speaks at people and expects you to just shut up and listen and nothing else, no response. So this is why we don't talk. I haven't spoken to her since I was pregnant, and my daughter is 1. So that's been since I was like 5 months pregnant. No, it's before I was pregnant. I haven't spoken to her. So almost 2 years I haven't spoken to her. And she's a lady who raised me. She's a lady I love. But I can't allow people to treat me away just because we have the same blood, because that's not how shit can work. I can't be miserable for you to feel better. That's not love. That's not family. Hey, Steve. It's all right. Oh, my whole back is out. Sorry for that little interruption. So reestablishing trust. I don't know if I ever reestablished trust with my mother. It just made me think of how many brown people I know who parents is not in their lives. And they're raised by their grandmothers, they're raised by themselves, they're raised by the streets, they're raised by their aunts, they're raised by their sisters. It's like they're always raised by someone else, even foster parents sometimes. So I understand how we got fucked up from everything that happened in our past. Why are we not trying to fix it as much as we can? And this article goes in about realizing that pieces come from letting go. I had to let go of things because I don't want to walk around here angry. I don't want to be another angry black woman out here pissed off. Sometimes I have a little bit of anger, but it's not for like my life. It's for like shit that I see in the world. So how can we rebuild mother-daughter relationships? I even know a girl whose mother is jealous of her, so she tries to put her down. She tries to like kick her out. She even tried to beat on her. So it's like crazy how the sooner we can fix the relationships with mothers and daughters, the sooner we can fix relationship with mothers and sons, the sooner we can fix relationships with fathers and mothers, maybe we can start to build a better community. Because right now we are broken, and we're easily broken. Your mother can call you a bitch, ruin your whole life, or it cannot ruin your whole life. You could just be used to it, and that's not how it should go. And I realized that they were brought up a certain way, so they treat you the way they was brought up because it turned out good for them, but it's not benefit. It's not making productive people. I have people I see all day who are just sad and broken down by just the way their mother looks at them, and it's just like, how can we fix mother-daughter relationships in the black community? How can we fix relationships in the black community? How can we get like everything back together? So that's just my question. This is my article. My thoughts on this article. It'll be down in the description below. And if you have any questions, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this, and I'm gonna go for someone else who walks through the video. So later, guys. Thanks for watching.